Hi, I'm Jeff Rudisuela, and this is my internship final report. So I work at the Cottage Club on Ghost Lake. It's a 5-phase development. Phases 2 and 3 are almost sold out. Phase 4 lots are sold, but there needs to be a certain percentage of lots sold before they will commence that development. So as you can see here, the top part, that's phase 1, that's phase 2, and that's phase 3. Phase 3 and 4 and 5 are here. So those will be that, and most of phase 2 and 3 are also sold out as well. The cabins here have a square footage cap of living space of about 900 square feet. So that keeps the building small, and it kind of adds some restrictions to how you can build things, and it kind of makes logistics interesting. So the company I work for is, the general contractor I work for is Sebin Specialty Homes. They're the largest GC there. There's over 30 years of experiences. Many sub-trades are contracted, including us. And generally it's the same sub-trades for each cabin. So you get to know the trades there, and you can build some really good relationships between them, and also the homeowners as well, because it's very hands-on and stuff. Like homeowners will be constantly visiting, you'll be constantly having meetings with them and figuring stuff out with them. So my job description is I'm a framer. My tasks include main structure construction, material handling and storage, machine operation, and construction fence erection. That's like what I actually do, but then I have secondary tasks as well, which I do on a fairly day-to-day occasion. So constantly supervising other trades on what they're doing and getting to know how they're going, and then just like updating on what they're doing, and then trying to plan around what they're doing, and also like coinciding that with the GC. I'm doing material estimating and takeoffs. So just the original takeoffs are never correct, so we're always doing continual takeoffs for more material, and then we're also in charge of procuring some specialty materials such as fasteners. We always have to get those, and there's lots of different stuff, and we have to really look at the design plans, the engineer drawings, because there'll be different specifications for everything. We have trade meetings, owner meetings, and GC meetings on top of that as well, and that's again like a daily occurrence, constantly meeting with people and planning and scheduling for the next day and the next month. So a couple of the homes, or I'll just go through a few of the homes that we're building. So in the top corner there is the Monarch. It's starting at $275,000. It has 8-foot high ceilings in the main floor and 20-foot floor ceilings in the living room. It's a large floor plan. It allows for lots of bedrooms, but I don't really like it. It's really cut up and just kind of ugly, but people will like it. And then on the lower corner there is the barn side. It's a small bungalow. It's around 600 square feet. It's the cheapest option for Sebin homes. It's $183,000. And all these costs here, that's just for the building. There is the lot has to be purchased as well on top of that, and starting lot fees, or a starter, like the cheapest lots there, are about $150,000. So it's all around going to be still around $300,000 to have a cabin out here. And then the biggest seller here for us is the Grand View. It has lots of stuff you can do. The main appeal to it is this huge window in the front there. You can also be on the back. It allows for a great view Usually there's a chimney there and whatnot. Some people like to have a big massive deck on the back or the front of the house too, and then you have that big overhanging rooftop, which is really cool and very impressive. That one's around $235,000 starting. It's 950 square feet living area, and it can accommodate like just any lifestyle or bedroom choices that you want. And then there's lots of custom designs as well. Two that I've worked on recently is the Ball residence up top there, and McElderry's residence in the bottom corner. Both of these were fairly custom. McElderry's was kind of just an improved grand view with some modifications to it. It's more custom just because of the lot that it was on. The grading was really weird, and so lots of things had to be changed about that. I'll speak about that later on. And then Ball's residence as well, that was 100% completely custom build. That was a design bid build project for us, so they had their own designer, which I've known from working with other builders before actually, so that was kind of cool seeing him again. But yeah, it's just a complete pain in the ass building this place actually. There's lots of high-end custom items, really long lead items too. So they had Italian cabinets, massive sliding doors in the back. You can't really see them, but they're huge and very expensive, and they got dented like a month later, so I had to go back and get other ones and repair it and stuff. That was not fun. There's also cement floors, really fancy, extremely hard cement floors, which they're still working on them, and they've been doing that for like 2 months now. And then there's also a glass railing inside, which is another long lead item, and just a complete nightmare because there's a million change orders and all the trades are so done with this place. And then, oh yeah, so continue on with McElderry's. So one of the main problems was the accessory building. The grade was really sloped, or it was built on a hill and then they dug it out. But then because the road was at a much lower grade than at the top, they had to make the foundation walls very high, but they didn't step them. And so this made the walls pretty weak, so that the engineer had to design this kind of shear wall here. And it's just a crazy over-engineered 2x6 wall with a million brackets on it, and that just took forever to build as well. And I just finished up a deck a couple weeks ago. We spent like 2 weeks on it. It was just crazy huge and really fun to build. Just a bunch of different landing heights and stairs, and a lot of figuring and math to do. And it was, I don't know, it was fun. I got to kind of build it as I wanted. And the homeowners were happy with it. It was also kind of challenging too, because the house and the accessory building were perfectly square with each other. They're 7 degrees off. So I don't know if you can see in that picture, but the lower deck is actually at a different angle than these, and we had to build it so that the stairs going up and down would be square with the decking, or else it would look strange. And we finished it though, and the homeowners were very happy with it, so we did a job there. Again, some tall walls are in all these buildings. They're kind of interesting to build. The grand view tall walls are definitely a lot bigger than other ones that we built, and these pictures here of the show home that we built 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah, it was 2 months ago. And both sides of this were engineered separately from each other, and this chimney chase in the middle actually had no engineering in it at all. It was just building it from the plans, so that was kind of weird having 2 separate walls engineered and then the whole middle part wasn't. So what we ended up doing is there's LVL king posts in the middle there. Those are specified in the drawings to be held together with these 6-inch lag bolts. So they're just massive. And But then also for lifting them with the crane, we had to we put leg bolts in the top plates too, so that they wouldn't rip out when we were lifting it. And this wall was super heavy. I think it was about like 10 tons or something, just massive. And then yeah, so we stood that, and then afterwards we had the zoom boom, and we just lifted the other 2 walls on the side of it to help brace it. And yeah, that worked really good. But yeah, we definitely need a talented operator to do that. And it's just the communication between the zoom boom and the crane and everybody involved in that. It was kind of fun doing that and interesting, the communication there. And every house in the community has to have timbers in them, and some houses may have larger timbers than others, and this is just an example. This is a Chong's residence here, and so they have this huge overhead over their deck roof here, and so that's all timber framed in structures, and those are fir rafters as well. And that was fun doing that as well, because we built all the rafters on the ground, and then you'd have to fly each one individually and place it in spot. So it's a lot slower than building a truss roof on the ground and then you just fly it up and set it down. But again, it's a lot more complicated doing this stuff, and it's really interesting doing it. And that's everything. So yeah, I guess if you have questions, you can email me.